welcome to AstroGas. In this game, you'll be playing as a gas station attendant who works for the AstroGas Corporation. You'll be charged with serving customers gas, obviously, and a variety of different confectionery items, milk, cigarettes. There'll be later in the game. Currently there's only milk and cigarettes, but later in the game there's going to be crisps, bread, bloody blah. The game takes place on an asteroid, the landscape of which hasn't been made yet, but it takes on an asteroid in an asteroid field. You'll be serving several astronauts, essentially, coming and going, everything from space truckers to just random drivers or flyers. You'll meet a few characters who also have routines like you, so you'll meet them either daily or on certain days when they'll be going to and from work. You'll be able to develop a relationship with those characters, and that will help your player ultimately. Anyway, AstroGas will feature a full day-night cycle, which will be really important to the game because obviously your character doesn't spend their entire life at work, and will be spending daytimes at home and nighttimes at work, except for weekends, because, well, they work the night shift, but ironically in space every shift is kind of the night shift. There is light in daytime, but it's minimal, as you can sort of see. It's well, it still feels like nighttime even when it's daytime, because we're, a lot further from the sun on the outskirts of the solar system. So yeah, the game has its own fully functioning time system. As mentioned, time is very important to the game. It dictates when you work, your other people's routines. So just basically how the whole game works. Let's have a click on this clock. The time is dictated in game by obviously using time.delta time, but sped up. So it's obviously 24 hours in game isn't going to be 24 hours in real life. I think it's every hour is about 2 minutes or so. Or hour length is 120 minutes. But yeah, so there's months and even years. Really, the game is how long you can. The game's about how long you can stick it out in this dead-end job. Either you get fired, or you'll never get promoted. Ultimately, the game, hopefully, so you work the night shift, one other person works the day shift, and you're sort of independent contractor style thing, or it's a gig economy style thing. So you book shifts on your home computer, if you can get shifts, and you're constantly sort of battling to work, and there's other people working there, and it's sort of, the game's trying to sort of, the message of the game is like working in a gig economy is alienating, terrible, and unstable. There's a time handler, as I said. The sort of years, months will dictate how many days there are in a month, like real life. Yeah, it's relatively simple, but I plan to have seasonal effects. So I know, as mentioned, the game takes place in space, technically, but there is a sort of kind of a joke. It's kind of a joke, kind of a meta saying, really. Like, the game is in space, but it's also not. The best way I could explain this, if I just speed up time, and then we'll go over here, speed up time. 1 second. Un momento, por favor. Yeah, if I make this game 100. Oh, no. 100. So yeah, and then I just stop time. Bam. Okay, so like there's bugs flying around the lights outside. There's also going to be a bunch of atmospheric effects like crickets, cricketing, I don't know what you call it, brr, brr, at night time. And yeah, like there's going to be environmental effects that don't make sense on an asteroid. There's going to be lots of things that don't really make sense on an asteroid. The game's not necessarily supposed to make sense, but I think these cast a shadow, yeah. Yeah, so like in December or in the winter months, it might start snowing, it's going to rain on certain days, and the game is set in space, like I said, but it's sort of really... There's a lot of humour in it, so it's not particularly a serious game. Like every item in the shop is what it is, but it's also prefaced with space. Everything's prefaced with space. So if I go scene products, milk, that's the best example I think. So we're in the fridge. Go space milk with a space cow because it's in space and it's milk. And then we have I tell you what, I'll actually play the game to demonstrate this. So we'll just pause you a sec, turn on my player controller. Oh, and I suppose this is a good point to talk about the... Oh, everything's going super fast. Let's quickly change that. This is a good point to demonstrate the interactivity of all of the objects and how everything works. So we'll just go on to the next section now. Space. Let's slow space down to its normal speed. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll show how this works, which is pretty funny. So, space is a box, as we all know, or as all astrophysicists will tell you. Space is just a big box. So I've tried to accurately simulate space by creating a big box. And as we also know, as astrophysics also definitely tells us, the world and objects in space don't move. The stars aren't real, they're all painted on. So the best way to simulate this, I guess, was I just created a big box and I press play, and it rotates like, you know, like real life. It slowly rotates depending on the time. So if we're inside the space box, we can look, and yeah, the stars are moving. And everything's moving, and the sun is... Where is the sun? The sun... Oh, ignore this, this was for testing purposes earlier. Where is the done? Ah, here you go. This also, like in real life, the sun isn't really far away. It's actually quite close, but very small. So that rotates with space around the player area. There will be more terrain stuff on this, so I'm going to put like I'm going to make it look like you're in one of those asteroid impacts on a bigger asteroid, like if you think of the surface of the moon. And that way I'm going to box the character in like there, and yeah, probably make this all a bit smaller. Anyway, let me show you now how the interaction and everything works in the game. So when the game starts, or rather when you arrive at work, you have to get the bus. You can't quite afford a car at the start of the game, so there will be space buses, and as you can see, it's styled after just a British bus stop, because the game takes place in England, even though it takes place in space. As I was saying earlier, like the game's not really supposed to make sense, not at all. The less sense it makes, the better, in fact. So yeah, so a lot of the objects in the game are interactable, and you will have to interact with them. So it's sort of, again, it's sort of based on sort of like a BP petrol garage, but obviously you work for AstroGas Corp, and oh yeah, and all of the spaceships, quote unquote, when they're designed, will just look like crappy cars from the 90s and stuff, but with wings and rockets, and currently they're just flying boxes. So yeah, so all doors are interactive, and the lights, you will need to turn on the lights when you get here. Obviously they are interactive, they don't really need them right now. There's a lot of things that right, I'll just show you. So again, space milk, yeah. And when you grab something, oh, that triangle thing's supposed to be upside down. So this is sort of your placement ghost. It will go red. So if you can't place it there, so if you drop it, you'll just drop it on the floor like an idiot. So you need to find somewhere to put it. This will become very important later. So I'll tell you, I'm gonna just put it somewhere I can grab it. And yes, there's everything's space, as I mentioned. So now we've got space cigarettes, or space ciggies. Reds for normal smokers, and menthols for people who don't like the taste of cigarettes. So I think now would be a good time to I'll quickly show you this. So you have a till and you have a handover point, which, if you've ever been to a night garage, these are important features. Obviously the till is an important feature of every shop, but yes, so the till is fully interactive. Place it, bink, and it will, these Astro Euro, this costs 6,900.9 Astro Euro dollars, which is the currency of the future. Unfortunately, it's quite inflated at the moment, so a pack of cigarettes costs almost 7,000. They've took off one penny to deceive you into thinking you're not actually paying 7,000, which has always annoyed me. And yeah, this does add up, and you can't really see it right now, but it says red cigarettes, menthol cigarette. Yep, that all adds up. And then and let's add our milk, because why not? Bonk. Yeah, milk, red cigarettes, menthol cigarettes. Awesome, great. Right, I'm just going to restart the game quickly, and I'll show you customers. Right, so anyway, bam. So when the not flying box, it'll be a space car, as I've mentioned. When that spawns, it'll have a sort of jump-in sound, like a warp jump sound, and it's same as when it goes. But anyway, I better get inside. The customer's gonna come. Currently, they're just made of blobs. So yeah, they arrive. This is our interaction screen. Because they won't talk to me, because they're in space, or I don't know. It's more so I didn't have to create I didn't have time to create a dialogue thing, but I kind of like this. Anyway, so the customer requests both types of cigarettes. Okay, so grab. That's how much that costs. Great. That much. That's how much that costs. Okay, and then you'll put it on the counter, which will grey out what you've done. So look, it's highlighted now. Goes on the counter, bump. Okay, now they're choosing the payment option. They've chosen, well, they're not chosen yet. They've chosen card. Currently, there's no cash in the game, so they'll always choose card. That's the amount due, as you can see. It sort of just goes bump. Payment approved. They've paid for it. Please hand over customer purchases now. Okie dokie. There's your menthol cigarettes. There's your normal cigarettes. And hand over. They despawn, aka the space car seems to be floating away. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but okay. He's having to chase his space car. Oh, okay, he's managed to get in, and off it goes. Whee! Thunderbirds. Okay. And off he goes. Bye. Pew. And at that point he warps out. So that's everything. How long have I got? Okay, 14 minutes before I have to hand this in. Okay, so roadmap, obviously, more goods. I'm going to create a home place, so you can sleep, eat, try. Oh, your character's sort of like a struggling artist or something. So, there's going to be depression, food mechanics, tiredness, energy. So you'll have to eat, pack lunch to bring to work, and there's going to be a computer here, which you sort of have to, which will allow you to, your boss to contact you at the start of a day, start of each day. You have to order restocks and stuff like this. Pretty much completely manage the business. And you clock in, clock out, and also leave secret messages for other employees, because ultimately the objective of the game, if you could say, well, one of the potential endings for the game is you unionize with your fellow workmates, start demanding better hours, better pay, etc. Or the business could go under, and then you can choose to sort of, you get together with your workmates and try and sort of buy out the business, and run it as a union or workers union or whatever. Yeah, gas. There's going to be gas things here. I'm going to have a proper sort of landing strip which lights up as customers come in. There's going to be 3 or 4, and if one's filled, the thing will go to the other. If that's filled, they'll go to 3. If all 3 of them filled, they'll just have to wait patiently over there or something. The customers spawning at random times, so it uses a timer. So which at default would be 60 seconds, or so it uses a timer. It it will use a random number generator between a random range between 1 and 60. So say it's 13, that means okay, a customer's coming in 13 minutes. When that customer spawns, it will do another random number between 1 and 60. So that means they will at maximum be here every hour, but more likely they'll arrive like every 10 minutes, every 30 minutes, in 10 minutes, and then 30 minutes, and blah 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 blah. And there's going to be a bar you can visit on weekends. So social interaction is really important, because if you don't get enough of it, your character will get depressed. Think like The Sims or something like that. But unfortunately, because of the nature of your job, working night shifts, you do have very limited social interaction. Obviously, you can go to the bar on weekends. Also, because you are on the edge of the solar system, there's not really much to do. You live in a small neighborhood. Or I was thinking a sort of a block of flats or something like that. And you don't really interact with your. That's supposed to disappear. Okay, that's something I have to fix or do. You don't really interact with your neighbours, so you do get this limited social interaction at the bar. Or you can start befriending your customers, the locals, the one who have routines. You'll like develop, banter with them, and those relationships can develop further, affect the game ultimately. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have time to talk about, and I think that's pretty much everything. So thanks for watching.